Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Broyans farm. So we didn't pick any strawberries today. It was Monday, so we had one day off. And now I'm just coming into the high tunnel. Sammy and Ben are in here tying the tomatoes for what we're pretty sure is going to be the last time. As you can see, the tomatoes are really doing nice. That one's like baseball size. They're really getting some nice clusters on them now. And we're probably going to start picking a couple for the farm market, just some green ones. And then hopefully in about a week, maybe 2 weeks, these will start turning red and we can have some red ones to sell. Up here is Sammy and Ben right now. Just like before, Ben's holding the string. It comes out of the tube, and then he's just kind of helping Sammy guide it around the poles and the tomatoes. Usually we do the weave method where we kind of crisscross through each tomato plant, but because they're so big, we don't want to harm the plant or squish the plant, so she's just going on the outsides of them for this last time, just to hold them up one last time. Because with them getting these big clusters of tomatoes on and then hanging down over, it makes them want to kind of kink the vines, and it's just not good for them. So this will be it, and then hopefully, like I said, in 2 weeks we'll be harvesting. Over here is this funky plant. I think the blossoms just keep coming and keep coming. I mean, they're crazy. We've never seen anything like it. And the tomatoes on it are actually pretty normal. It's not putting on a lot of tomatoes. There's like three or four tomatoes in that cluster there. But I mean, what's there is nice. We kind of thought they'd be all goofy, but so far so good. Okay, so now I'm out here at the market. We got this garden area covered with fabric. I didn't get to show you because it was really windy. And now a couple days later, which is today, we just got the zinnias planted. These are going to be like a 4 foot, not 4 foot, more like 3 foot zinnia. And we're having a little bit of trouble. You can kind of see here, I got to get more fabric stakes. The wind picks up and it comes over top of these little baby plants. Once they get growing, get a little bit bushier, that won't happen no more. But just with having a lot of wind and having these holes, it gives the air something to get up under, flop that plastic, and then covers the zinnias. But I think I got a little over 375 plants, and I must have figured a little bit short because I was one whole row short, and there's about 36 plants in a row. So what we just did was, oh, here's another one that got covered. What we did was we just took snapdragons and planted them in that last row, which you can see right here. And so these will obviously be blooming a lot sooner than the zinnias, but that doesn't really matter. It'll have some color early, and they should then bloom all summer long, just like the zinnias will. So really excited. Really shouldn't have much of a weed problem at all. Maybe just a little bit. I'm gonna have to keep coming out and fixing these though, probably once a day, just to make sure they don't get killed, because I did have, like right here, 1 or 2 snap off because of the wind getting covered by the fabric, which ain't no big deal. I'm sure they're gonna grow. They're just gonna have little shoots come out instead of having one main plant, but that's only about 2 or 3 out of about 375 plants, like I said. And actually, it's more like 400, but 36 of them are snapdragons. So then also, I didn't get on video as well, we got a van load of flowers from our main greenhouses back at the farm, brought them out here to the market because we're planning on only going to hometown one more time, and then I think we're gonna be done, and we're already done with Sailorsburg, so we hate to just throw all those pretty flowers away. We're gonna bring them out here. I think we might, I don't know if we're gonna do half cost, but we're definitely gonna do a deal on them. And this is what it looks like. The greenhouse is full once again. It was only half full, but we got it filled up, looking really nice. And hopefully once we open up tomorrow, we'll have some big signs out saying what kind of deals we got going on, and people will be enticed to hopefully buy a flat, or at least a couple packs if anything, and not only help us out, but you know, not let those plants go to waste. So then right over here, I'm gonna walk over to the golf course, and right behind the golf course is where the corn maze is gonna be. So you can kind of just see right there is my market behind me, and right through these trees here is the golf course. So it's pretty convenient for the corn maze, not real far away. The market will only be open, well, actually, the corn maze is gonna go from, I think, 11 to 9 on Fridays and Saturdays, and 11 to 7 on Sundays. So the market will be open part of the time, and hopefully, you know, people will, they'll do the corn maze, they'll do some mini golf, Hopefully, you know, they'll go to the market while it's open. Over here is the field right back here where the corn maze is gonna be. So out of the golf course here, there's gonna be quite a bit to do. I'm gonna have a bunch of games set up, which I'll show you at a later date. And then also at the golf course, the guy I'm kind of partnering with has batting cages, which I'm not 100% sure if they're gonna be open, just because we don't wanna risk a ball flying out and hitting somebody in the corn maze. Unless, you know, I'm gonna have to talk to him and see what's going on there. But he has driving range, which people are driving balls right now. I'm trying not to get in their way. And that won't be open as well, you know, because we don't want somebody hanging out with the golf ball. But for sure, obviously the mini golf part will be open. He has shuffleboard over there. Then right here is the corn maze section. And in the front of this corn maze is gonna be a 1 acre pumpkin patch. People can pick their own. Then they can, you know, I'm gonna have probably 7 or 8 wagons. People can have to, you know, pull around, put their pumpkins in, put their kids in, whatever. And then they can go through the corn maze if they would like to. The corn maze is gonna be, I think, 8 acres, which is this back section here. It's not gonna be in this little section over here just because that kind of lays wet and I don't wanna risk the corn not coming out very good. And then they'll come out of the corn maze, kind of right into the pumpkin patch, and then over to this area over here where there will be fire pits and probably cornhole. I'm gonna have a grain bin basketball hoop and food and drinks, all that kind of stuff. So gonna make it as fun as possible. The corn was actually planted yesterday, and the guy who had planting it for us kind of had a little bit of trouble just because of all this, you know, rye. And it was kind of getting clogging up and everything, but I think, and he was pretty sure he did a pretty good job. We're gonna find out in about 2 weeks when the corn starts coming up. So here is the drone footage of it going on. So basically now all we can do is wait at this point. Hopefully we can get a rain that'll really help the corn out. The corn actually had to get planted in 2 directions, so it took almost about twice the amount of corn. Not quite, because we cut our population back, just because we were planting it 2 ways. And that is good for the corn maze, so then people won't be able to see through it, but bad for when we try and combine it, because the combine won't really have nice rows to drive through. So there's gonna be a lot of new things going on, and hopefully it all works out for the best. Right over here will be the parking area, obviously, where those cars are. Could probably fit about, I think, 75 cars in there at least. This area right here, that's gravel. will be a fire pit area and probably something else. I'm thinking I'm gonna have like a ticket booth right there. I'll be roasting corn over there with drinks. I've got big plans. So to finish up the day, we're in the greenhouse seeding for the last time for the year. Right now, Sammy is putting vermiculite over a flat that I just did. And right now I'm about to seed a flat. Sammy already went through. This is winter, which is kohlrabi. If you don't know what kohlrabi is, it kind of tastes like between a cabbage and a turnip. You'll see them in my later videos selling them at market. Anyway, there's 512 seeds in here. She's got it filled with soil. I'm gonna make indentions in the soil so that my seed will sit down in there. I'm gonna bring it over here, set it in my holder. Then I'll place my seeds on this seed tray. It's vacuumed, so after they suck fast, I'll flip it over onto my tray that will be sitting right here. They'll drop down in, then they'll go over to Sammy, who's covering them with vermiculite, and then they'll get brought over here where we've already done a ton of flats of cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kohlrabi, and kale. And this is what they look like after they're finished. Then I'll have to go through and water them, and they can start growing. Well, then it will get brought over here. It kind of just pops right into there. Knock over here. Now I'm working on kohlrabi, so I need my winter seeds, which are right here. I think I'm going to need another pack. I'm doing 6 flats. I'll just kind of tap it there so the seeds fall down. And it's done. So everything's seeded and I just got everything watered. So they're done, they can start growing, and I'm heading home for the night. So as always, thank you guys for watching. And always remember, it ain't much, but it's honest work.